All right, so let's take a look at the Tutorial 7 review, specifically step 4 on page 384. So the step 4 is all full-time employees over the age of 30 are eligible for the 401k benefit. Use the if and functions to calculate the 401k benefit as 3% of annual salary. If the employee is not eligible, enter 0. In the formula you create, include a reference to cell Z10 to obtain the 401k matching percent rate. So we're going to do our best. We're going to put this on the board first, and then we're going to put it into Excel. So let's put down where some things are located first of all. The status. Let's do this for the very first person. What cell is their status in?
G6.
G6. Okay, so the status is in cell G6, and the age is cell N6 then?
Yep.
Okay, and then the rate is in cell Z10. Okay, I think that's all we need. Oh, salary. Where's salary located? K6? Okay, salary is K6. Okay, so just because we're not using, we don't have the computer up right now, we're using the board, I want to make sure that we have all of the cell references clear so we see where things are coming from. Okay? All right, so we'll write this in a different color so we can see what it would look like. Here's the syntax. Always go back to your basic syntax, okay? That will help you to ensure that you have all of the pieces in and nothing more, okay? So they told you you're doing an if and an and, so we can start that. Okay, what is our first logical test? We're calculating a 401k benefit. What's the first thing that depends upon? The employment status, okay? So the employment status is in cell G6. If the employment status is what?
Full-time.
Full-time. So we're going to say equals FT for full-time. And remember, you have to put text in quotation marks. So there's my logical test 1. What follows that is a comma. Okay? What else does my 401k benefit depend upon? Age. That's right, and age is in cell N6. And Carol said that the age has to be over 30. Okay? That's my second logical test. After that comes a parenthesis, a closed parenthesis, because now here's my logical test, and then a comma, which moves us to the true value. Okay? If both of these are true, if the status is full-time and the age is over 30. If both of those are true, excuse me, what do they get for their 401k benefit?
Salary times
the salary, that's right, salary K6 times the rate, which is in cell Z10. Okay, that's what they get. That's what they get if it's true. Now we're moving, we put in our comma, we're moving to the false value. What do they get if that's false? What if they are not full-time or over 30?
0.
0. That's our false value. And then we close our parenthesis. We have 1 open parenthesis, 2 open parentheses, 1 closed, 2 closed. So we're good. Okay?
Don't we have to change the reference in Z10 so that
Yep.
it's the same?
This works, but only for row 6. If we wanted to fill this down for our entire table, we would have to change this to an absolute reference. So it would be $Z, $10 would replace that. And then it would be good for the entire table. Yep. Okay. But do you see how we started with the basic syntax, and we can just ask ourselves, what's the first thing it depends upon? We write that in. What's the second thing it depends upon? We write that in. We say, does it depend on anything else? No? Okay, then we're done. Close parenthesis, we move to true. Okay? If these are true, what do they get? We take our salary times the rate. Just write that. If it's false, what do they get? Nothing. Yeah. Okay? So if we start from the basic syntax, and remember we wrote out on the board over there in the corner, which the camera can't see, we wrote out what we knew. That the status had to be full-time, the age age had to be over 30, how to calculate the 401k benefit and what they got if they weren't eligible. And then all we did here is substitute each one of those pieces in. Okay? That's the process that you'll go through every single time to go from all of the wordy problems to picking out what you know, identifying which function is what you need, and then putting what you know into this function in the syntax that Excel understands. Okay, so it really is multi-step, and very rarely can you look at the word problem and type it into Excel. I mean, you can when you're very experienced. That takes a long time.
Yeah, I think
So-
it's really helpful to, write
Yeah.
it out. And,
Go from the words to write down what you know. It's like, okay, I know something. I can start somewhere. Write down what you know. Then say, okay, what is this problem asking for? The book very often tells you what functions to use, which is
It
helpful.
does give tips. It kind
Yes,
of, yeah.
that
it
is
does
helpful.
say, yeah.
So then you write down the syntax of that. And I know we like to think, oh, I know it, I can look at the wizard, whatever. Write it down
Yeah.
until it just starts to become a little bit more natural. And then substitute what you know into the pieces. Make sure you have all your commas and parentheses there. I'm not kidding you, a missing parenthesis, you just get so frustrated. It's like, it was right. Do you know how long that took me? And now you're giving me an error message because I put in an extra comma. I mean, it's really frustrating. So, okay, so this is good? All right, let's do that last one that we're going to cover here. And step 5, go ahead and I'll give you some time to work on that, and then we'll go over it on film. These don't even use film anymore, it's just all digital.